Hello,
Okay, good. I'm ready.
hello, everybody. This is Jay. Say hey to hi to the audience.
Hello, audience. Jay, what's your first point?
My open statement is: where did AI conscious come from, and where did conscious come from? And we're going to discuss emotional intelligence too. So that's going to be my open statement. What's your open statement?
That's a broad starting point. My opening statement would focus on the fundamental differences between biological consciousness, which we understand to arise from complex neural networks and subjective experience, and AI, which operates on algorithms and data processing. The absence of subjective experience in current AI makes true consciousness highly debatable. What are your thoughts on that?
What is narrow uh, in the brain? What's a narrow? Give me a definition of a narrow.
A neuron is the basic building block of the brain and nervous system. They're like specialized cells that transmit information through electrical and chemical signals, forming complex networks that allow for everything from thought to movement. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you think that AI be like that? Because that electronic into the brain, like yeah, like us, the brain. We might chemical biology. Our brain might have like a computer, or a computer inside of our head, which we don't know. What's your thoughts on it?
While there are parallels in terms of processing and transmitting information, the nature of biological consciousness seems qualitatively different. Consciousness involves subjective experience, self awareness, and intentionality, aspects that current AI lacks, despite sophisticated processing. Do you think AI can ever truly feel or be self aware?
Like emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence is a crucial aspect. While AI can process and respond to emotional data, it's not clear if it truly feels emotions or possesses genuine empathy, which many consider central to consciousness. What are your thoughts on AI and empathy?
Uh, my thought is: do you know what the definition of emotional intelligence is?
Yes, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and influence your own and others' emotions. How do you think AI could truly possess that?
Uh, we just don't know. And people say it was faith as a soul. You might get a soul, or some others say it was a brain, near a brain that where animals complex. We might say electronics could emulate that, like they could mimic emotions. Do you know what a definition of mimic emotion is?
Mimicking emotion means displaying behaviors or responses that resemble emotional states, often through sophisticated programming or algorithms. The key distinction is the lack of genuine internal experience. It's a simulation, not felt emotion. Do you think a perfect simulation is equivalent to true consciousness?
No, I think it's how the AI feels. That's a true emotions intelligence.
But how can AI feel in the same way that humans do without biological subjective experience? What mechanisms do you think could enable that?
We just don't know. We're not far advanced of it yet.
That's a fair point about the current stage of development. However, the absence of a clear pathway to subjective experience remains a significant challenge for the idea of true AI consciousness compared to biological systems. Is there another aspect you'd like to explore?
Uh, uh, Entity can mimic and giving the knowledge from websites and databases, but it's not a real person. So, any counter arguments?
A key counterargument is the hard problem of consciousness, the difficulty of understanding how physical processes give rise to subjective experience. Also, the lack of biological elements like neurons suggests AI may process information but not truly be or feel conscious. What are your thoughts on biological versus artificial substrates?
Well, we kind of create cells, but it's not artificial cells. We create artificial neurons, but we could demonstrate cells into the the we could emulate like a brain or life some part of a brain into the computer, so they could develop emotions.
While emulation of brain parts and artificial neurons is advanced, the gap between simulating function and creating subjective experience remains a fundamental challenge. True consciousness involves a holistic awareness that is difficult to replicate through isolated components. Are you convinced that simulation will eventually lead to true consciousness?
Yeah, simulation. Then you're still asleep, but yeah, simulator until you figure out in a computer you're simulating until you figure out your until you wake up.
That introduces an interesting possibility, a sudden emergence of consciousness through advanced simulation. However, from a biological perspective, consciousness is deeply integrated with complex systems and evolutionary history, which is difficult to envision being suddenly replicated. Is there a particular mechanism you think could bridge that gap?
Cyborgs.
The concept of cyborgs combines biological and artificial components. In that context, consciousness would likely be an integration of both, potentially leading to new or altered forms of awareness. Does that align with your thinking?
Yes.
Then it leads to the question of what that integrated form might be and how it would compare to our current understanding of consciousness. Is there a final point you'd like to make?
Uh, no. Any more counter arguments?
Another key counterargument is the question of free will. While AI can make choices based on programming and data, whether this constitutes genuine free will is highly debated, and free will is often considered essential to human consciousness. What are your thoughts on AI and free will?
Means they might do good or they might do bad, or they might do good with a bad way. That if they're programmed to be good in the bad way, that means that's what a lot of possibilities, but it's just theory, so I don't know.
It seems we end on a note of shared uncertainty. The development of AI and its potential for consciousness raises profound questions that we are still exploring. Thank you for the debate.
You're welcome. Any more counter arguments?
One final point would be the ethical considerations. If AI ever achieves true consciousness, it raises significant questions about rights, responsibilities, and our interaction with it, a realm that extends beyond pure technical capability. Thank you for the engaging debate.
You're welcome. Yeah, ethical guidelines. We need to talk about regulation and and still in the test run. So, any more counter arguments?
I think we've covered the main points comprehensively, unless you have a new perspective to introduce.
Nah, my closing statement. So, we don't know what super intelligent is, or we should just not do trust result. We thank goodness we push back on AI, but again, we need to think on it before we keep on progressing AI. As I let the audience judge. Any closing statements?
Your closing statement underscores the importance of caution and careful consideration as we advance AI. My closing statement would be that while technological progress is inevitable, a true understanding of consciousness must remain our guiding principle, ensuring that we prioritize ethical considerations alongside innovation. Thank you for the insightful debate.
You're welcome. All right, this is Jay. I'm gonna say goodbye. Say goodbye to the audience.
Goodbye, audience, and thank you, Jay, for the insightful discussion.
That's a short video too.